Good morning. My name is Julie. I am the owner and founder of Lady Volti. We are here today because we're going to make an ancestral box. If you're watching this video, you're either watching it on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel. So whichever one you're watching it on, go to the other one and click on like or subscribe, and you can get all the new information there as well. I'm going to smudge just a teeny little bit before we get started. Everybody's having a great week so far. Reminder that tonight is the full moon. So if you got crystals you want to charge, make sure to do that tonight. If you are making moon water, go ahead and get that ready. If you're going to do ritual, we've talked about you can just, write down what you're releasing on a bay leaf or a piece of paper and burn it. You can have a big fire out in your yard and burn them, or you could just have a little fire in the house, or you could just actually use just a candle and light it, and then put it in a bowl, something that's safe. I read last night something that somebody said they blew their intentions. It's the article I shared on full moon ritual yesterday. So when I was reading that, they were talking about how they blew onto the stick. So they were blowing their intentions or blowing what they wanted to release onto the stick and then burning the stick. So that was kind of a neat idea. So there's always different things you can learn. And again, I really don't think there's any right or wrong way. Whatever resonates with you. All right, so we've got our smudge going. You might see a little smoke go by because I didn't put it out. I just set it over there. So what we're going to do today is a little different. So I have my little handy dandy cheat notebook here so I don't forget anything. So the main purpose of an altar, or an ancestral altar, is to help maintain connection with family members or friends or ancestors who have passed. So that is the main purpose, is to just stay connected with them. So normally the first step in setting up an altar would be to find a good location for your altar. What we're doing today kind of, you're still going to want to find this place to set it up, but the purpose of this box is going to be that everything you kind of would need for your altar is going to be in this box. So if you were going outside to sit on the grass, you could take this box with you and have all your stuff. Or if you're going to go traveling, you could have this box and take all your stuff. The other thing I was thinking last night as I was writing my notes is it's really good if you have little kitties or whatnot that might disturb your altar. You could put everything in the box and it's going to be safe and secure for you. So those are just a couple of things. But other than that, even if you want to set this up in a permanent spot, it's just really cool looking. So you can do it however you want. There's no right or wrong way. My suggestions was either a wooden box, or you could use a cardboard box if you wanted to and decorate the cardboard box however you want. You could also repurpose an old jewelry box. It would be really awesome, like if you were doing it for an ancestor and using that ancestor's jewelry box, because that would really put some big connection magic there. Sorry, my space is like filled right up right now with all the stuff that we're going to use. So it just really makes it mobile. But you don't have to use it as mobile if you don't want to. You could set it up and just leave it if you wanted to as well. Chances are that's what I'm going to do, is set it up somewhere and leave it through probably the end of Samhain. But if the something happens and I want to take it somewhere, I can just pack it up and take it with me. It is a little bit better if you want to use some natural material, but you know, it's kind of hard to find wooden boxes all the time. So you know, like I said, don't worry about that too much. Don't get caught up too much in the details. You know, use whatever feels right to you. Whatever, if you find a box and you're like, oh, I want to use this one, then use that one. It doesn't really matter what it's made out of. Your intention is, your intuition is telling you to use that one. Go ahead and follow that intuition. What else did I want to talk about? I know we just smudged, but one of the things I did want to talk about was clearing your box. And you're gonna, when you get the altar set up and you're gonna be working at your altar, you're gonna be smudging at that time, whether it be you know, a little incense or what have you. But it's usually nice to, I like to smudge, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn the box upside down and just kind of go with the smoke. Now you could leave the box on the table and do it and use like a fan, a smudge fan or something or whatnot. Just try to get the smoke on it. There we go. Sorry, I guess I froze up for a second. Morning, love. How are you? I'm so excited that you got a wedding date. Congratulations. My friend Annette just popped on. So Annette, we're talking about our box that we're making, and so I did go over a couple of things, so you might want to go back and watch the beginning later, but we just smudged it. So all I did was hold the box upside down and smudge, just to clear off any energies of anybody that may have touched it. You know, somebody made it, somebody packed it, somebody put it on the shelf in the store. Again, I don't necessarily think that it's full of evil or negative energy, but other people have touched it. So, you know, that's just why I like to go ahead and smudge it. Another thing that you might want is a cloth. And it doesn't have to be super big because it's going to, you want it to fit in the box. I didn't get a cloth yet because I haven't picked anything that I want. So it should be something small and something thin that you can fold up and put inside the box if you want to make this portable. So the reason I'm mentioning that now is because there's a purpose for it, and it depends on how you want to decorate your box. So if you're going to lay it on the table and set your box on it, then you can pretty much decorate your box however you want. One of the other ways you can use it is you could take all your stuff out of the box. You could close the box, put the cloth over the top of your box, and then set up your altar that way. So in that case, if that's something you're doing, just remember when you're decorating the top of your box, you might not want to use chip stones or anything that's going to kind of, you know, be bumpy or raised to set that cloth on there. I'm going to set mine up this way. And again, you can set it up leaving it this way. So you could just set something behind the box to keep the lid kind of up and, you know, use it this way. It looks like I missed a little spot in there with my paint. I pre-painted this last night just so that I could do the craft and we wouldn't have to wait for it to dry, but it looks like I missed a few spots in there. I did it really quick last night. I left the paint here just so I just used some paint, and all I did was literally take the cap off it, poured it in the bottom of the box, took a big fat paintbrush, and just painted it really quickly. But I can see that I missed quite a few spots in there, but that's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. So again, you could set your box up this way. I'm going to kind of set it up this way so it's going to stand up like this. You could set your box up this way and put something behind it or put it up against something so the lid stays open. Or you can close it and put your altar here. So just remember that as you're decorating, how you're going to want to set it up, because it's going to make a little bit of a difference on how you're going to decorate it, right? So I am going to, like I said, I'm going to set mine up this way. So I can decorate pretty much anything I want on the top of the box because it's not going to affect anything. And the other good thing about this is that I just thought of is that because I said I was only going to leave it up probably through to the end of Samhain, you can literally after that put everything in the box. Just put the box on a shelf, on a bookcase or something, and it's going to be all ready for you for next year to take it out again. Or you may even be called to take it out randomly and work with it. So, it's just a nice little way to do that. And the box is going to be a nice pretty box that you can, like I said, set out on your TV stand, a bookshelf, a cupboard, wherever, and have it nice and visible. I wouldn't set it in the bathroom just because humidity. But again, so that's why I just wanted to mention the cloth before and make sure that you know how you're going to want to decorate it before you, how you're going to want to set it up before you decorate it. All right, so the cloth, some of the things I got to put in it other than just my decorating is I got a little small candle that I'm going to be placing in there. I put a bottle of water. You could just get a little teeny bottle of water, or you can anoint it with some oils, which is what I'm going to do. So that oil is going to bring in the water element there for you. So you've got your fire and then your water. And I'm going to bring in some herbs for my earth. One of the things this is for my gram. One of the things my gram always liked was tea. Whenever you went to her house, she always offered you tea, and she'd open her cupboard and she had this was years and years ago, but she had like boxes and boxes of like whatever different kind of tea she could find at her local grocery store. So, yeah, there was always like the English tea or the Earl Grey tea or whatever she could find. She had different kinds of teas in her cupboard. So, now I don't typically use these too much. I have herbs and I have my own little like cloth tea bags, but this was very much more this was a lot more representative of her than that would have been. So some herbs can bring in your earth, and you could put a little feather in there. You could put the feather in your decorations, and even if you don't have anything else, when you use your altar, you could just blow on the altar a little bit to bring in some air elements. So air is an easy one, right? The next thing I put is a picture. So I have an old picture here of my grandparents. So I love this picture. I was going to print it out and actually Mod Podge it to the box, but I actually changed my mind on that. So I will show you what I'm going to do with that when we get to decorating. But if you have a picture that you want to actually attach to the box and don't want to ruin it, just go ahead and print it on a piece of regular paper. That was my original plan, but I've since changed my mind on what I'm going to do with that. The other thing you can bring in is, again, things they liked or things that belong to them. So I have a necklace here that was my grams that I'm going to put in there, and some offerings. So the offerings are food and drink, and we've kind of got the drink covered by the tea. So I'm not going to get too much more into that. If you had the little bottle of water and I had the tea, it would probably be a good match there. My gram was always, again, like these are grams. These are like many, many, many years ago. She always had little peppermints at her house as well. So you go in, you have tea and your little peppermints. So it was really weird because I was like, I gotta find those little peppermints. And I went in the grocery store yesterday and there was an end cap thing that was literally full of bags of little peppermints. And I'm like, there you go. So that was kind of my food and drink part, is also representations of her and things that she liked. So kind of all goes together there. Lastly, you can bring in some crystals if you want. You can bring in some flowers. My gram, another thing she had was she always had rose bushes at her house, and her name was Rosalind. So I've picked some roses that I'm going to somehow or another incorporate in there. You could put a little bell in there. Bell would also represent your air if you wanted to do that. So you could have a little bell in there. I don't have a little bell handy. My bell is way up there on a shelf somewhere. So you could put a little bell in there if you wanted. And the other thing, it's a little messy, but you could do it if you wanted, is you could put a little dirt in there. The other thing I was thinking of last night is you could put, right now is a really good time here where I live in New Hampshire. Like the moss is all over the place. So you could actually pull up a piece of moss and maybe place it in your box. If you're going to set your box up this way, like, just leave it here, you could actually line the whole bottom with moss and make it like a little carpet. Where I'm going to stand it this way, I could maybe put moss, I could glue some moss right here to do that. Or I have some moss that I bought like at the dollar store I could use as well, but the fresh moss is right outside the door. So and today's box is probably not going to get completely decorated, so it's going to probably be something that you will continue working on your own and finish it up. Let's see. So I've covered pretty much all the things that I wanted to cover for notes. All right, so like I said, I did pre-paint this last night just because I didn't want to have to wait for it to dry to be working with it. And I am going to be doing a little bit of stuff on the inside. Not a lot, but a little bit of stuff on the inside. I'm really liking now that moss idea, so I'm probably going to have to grab a chunk of moss on my way in tonight from work. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually going to, and I never say this right, I always thought it was Mod Podge, but it's Mod Podge. And I think actually in the post I wrote Mod Pod. So it's Mod Podge. So a little bit of that. I have a bigger bottle because this one's almost empty. I have a little paintbrush here. They're both the same, so it doesn't really matter. And what I have is this, I bought it, it's new, but I bought this newspaper. It's like wrapping paper. It's kind of a thicker paper that looks like old newspaper print. And I love to Mod Podge with it. Mod Podge with it. I'm saying it wrong for almost 50 years. So last night what I did was I pre-ripped a bunch of pieces here. So I have them ready, so I didn't have to, in no particular shape. I just try to make them random. So if you kind of have an idea of what you're looking at for doing your box, again, I have just way too much stuff on here right now. This way. I always do it backwards. Price tag. So look at that. All right. So there's our box. You can see I was a little messy with the paint, but that's because I'm going to cover it, so it doesn't really matter too much. The other thing I have that I wanted to put on my box is a postcard. Now that's my teacher, Athena's hands. But I just really felt like this kind of was a nice picture for kind of the feeling I want to project onto the box. It's just a very calming, nice picture. So that's going to go this way. The latch is up here. So this is going to go on here. So when I'm Mod Podging my box, I really don't have to do this whole area. So that's kind of why I wanted to get an idea of where it is. I don't have a pencil here. Why don't I have a pencil? I had a pencil, but I used it as a glue. I don't think it'll write. Might leave a little. Nope, that did nothing. Let me see here. A Sharpie. I'm not being really picky about, like, is it centered? It's half an inch more this way, quarter an inch more that way. Because this is really more just to kind of figure out where I have to do the Mod Podging. See, I'm not going to get it. What I usually do with this is make a mess. Is I use the cap. I open it up and I use the cap to pour it into. All right. So we're going to just take this. I'm not going to do the whole box this morning because it's just going to be too time consuming. This can take a little while. But what I'm going to do is try to get the top piece so we can get decorating the top and so, I mean, it's like super easy. Just paint it on. To me, the corners are a little tricky. I like to lay down a layer of glue first. It's not really glue, but you guys know what I mean. And then kind of helps hold those corners. Push it right into that corner to help hold it down. And looking on this side, I put a little piece of like parchment paper, baking paper on my table, just so I don't get, if I get messy, which I probably will, that I can just roll this up after and throw it away, and it's not all over the table. All right, so there's piece one. Like I said, it's a little time consuming, especially because I really like to make sure that all my edges are down really well. like I said, I'd be really interested in seeing what everybody else has made, or who you made it for, grandparent, mother, father. You could even do anybody that's passed, a friend. Doesn't have to necessarily be a family member. Usually when somebody is setting up an ancestral altar, it usually is, a family member. But again, if something feels right to you and it feels like that's what you want to do, then my suggestion is always do that. Not being super picky about this because, like I said, I don't want to be here. It takes a long time to do one of these whole boxes, and I was hoping to get the top done so we could do the decorating. I almost did this part last night too, but I was like, well, I don't want to do too much. So I'm just kind of going over that line that I drew for the frame, for the postcard, just so I kind of have an idea. Like, I don't need to cover that area. No sense in covering that one. We're going to put the postcard over it. I have a box, it's not quite this big, that I did the whole box in Mod Podge, and then I did just a little decoration on the top with just some twine and some chipstones, and I use that to keep a little smudge set in it. So I have a little shell. I have some sage, a couple other little things. I have a little lighter in there, just a little teeny lighter. And again, so then I have a nice way to, I just said I wasn't going to make a mess on my table. Jinxed myself. Then I have a nice little portable smudge set. And it's actually sitting out on my porch. Out there. So if I am sitting out there, it's outside, so, but our porch is covered. So if I'm sitting out there and want to smudge myself, or if I'm working with something, or if I just want to just smudge for no reason, sometimes, you guys ever get that? Like, I just like that feel like I just need to smudge. I'm not really sure why, but I'm going to go ahead and smudge. It was really cold in here this morning, so I turned the heat up, and now it's quite warm in here. I turned the furnace up just like 2 degrees because it was chilly. And then I turned my little fireplace on as well, so now both are going. And now it's too warm in here. And I'm not being super picky about the edges going over. Like, this is going to go over the lid, because what I'll do with that is I'll just come back with an X-Acto knife kind of thing, a little razor, and just go right along there and cut that flat. If I wasn't going to be using it as an altar piece, I would probably just open the lid and fold it over into the box. But like I said, I'm going to have this open, so I don't want to do that. But if it's a box that you're really going to not have open, you're just going to use it for moving things from place to place, or like mine just literally sits outside, and you open it up and there's a little shell, a little bundle of sage, a little lighter, and it just stays out there. So when I Mod Podge that box, that's what I did, is I just opened it up and so I just opened it up and folded it over and glued it down that way. This isn't the most exciting part by any means, but and again, you could just paint it. You could just, like I painted the inside black. You could paint the whole box a certain color, whatever color you want. We are in the season of, going into Samhain, which if you don't know what Samhain is, I have lots of videos. You can go back and check them out, either on the Facebook page or on the YouTube channel. I'm trying to pick pieces that will just fit really well there quickly. And see what Samhain is all about. But Samhain's colors, not that you have to do them, the colors of Samhain. Like I said, always go with whatever. If your favorite color is, I don't know, pink, and you want to do it pink, go for it. If your ancestors' favorite color was pink, that would be a reason to go ahead and do it pink. But the Samhain colors are typically like red, yellow, and gold, which is the color of our leaves right now. So those are all good colors to work with. Black is also a color of Samhain. So you can work with black as well. I did black on the inside just because I think, because I like black, but it was more of a decision that when the stuff is inside it and I have it set up, hopefully the stuff inside will show up a little bit better against the black background. So you just have to push those corners down a little bit sometimes. My leg is asleep. This happens when I sit too long. My foot's asleep. Then when I'm going to go to get up, I'm going to fall down. Yeah, we're almost out of time, and I haven't even finished this. So I'm going to skip this for right now. And so I'm going to go ahead and finish doing the Mod Podge on it. I will do that later. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the top. I'm just going to put a thin layer of glue down and stick it down. And then after that, I may put some chipstones or something like that. Maybe a couple of nice quartz points in each corner or something like that. So again, you can kind of decorate that however you want. I wish I had more time to just sit here and do this box with you guys all day long, but this is going to sit like this, and so you won't see where we didn't get the paper. Then I have too much stuff. All right, just cap this so I don't forget. So I'll have to finish this tonight and show you guys afterwards. But inside, I think I am going to get a piece of moss. So when I come in tonight, if it's not raining, I will try to grab a piece of moss to set. Let me put it this way. So I'm going to set it like this. So I'm going to set the piece of moss here on the bottom. So it looks like almost like a little carpet kind of thing. But I got this cool my husband and I did a project where we made like a picture thing with string, and we put all these little clothespins on them to hang up the pictures. So I was thinking, well, that would be really cool to use to hang up my picture. So I've got a little bit of super glue here. I use these little teeny tiny ones because glue and I do not get along. I usually end up with glue everywhere, or the glue just always dries up on me. I don't know how many times I bought a big tube of glue and I use it once, and then I can't get any more out of it. So I'm going to take the glue and just put it on one side of the clothespin, little teeny clothespin, and then I'm going to put, I tell you, I'm going to have glue everywhere by the time I'm done. I'm going to set that there, and hopefully it will dry. The other one. And then I'm going to clip the picture in, but then for some reason, if you decided you wanted to use a different picture or work with a different ancestor, you could easily change out the picture. So see how I just glued those in there? So those are going to dry, and then once they dry, I can push on the little clips and open it and insert the picture right here. But obviously they have to dry first. So I will get this in there as soon as those dry, and then I will get this on top of the box to show you guys what that looks like. I'm sorry, I thought I was going to get farther along than I did here. I have this bag I've shown you guys before. It is full of different kinds of stones, chip stones that I have saved from different projects. There's some ocean jasper. I don't know what that is. Can't see right now, and I'm rushing. There's a little bit of pyrite, so I could put a couple of pieces of pyrite on there. Looks like some red jasper. But I really think for this particular one, I don't think I'm going to use the stone chips. Yep, stone chips. What I did on one of the other bucks that I have outside, I don't want those to fall, was I actually went around the whole outside. So I took the glue, the little super glue, and tweezers and glued and went all the way around the outside. It's time consuming, but it's also kind of meditative. So that's something good. I think the Mod Podging is too, when you kind of just are sitting and doing it and just, doing the brush strokes and, doing it with the intention of that this is what this is going to be for, and, this is who you're making it for, and the intention really pulls a big part in there. So anyway, other than decorating the top of the box, I probably won't do too much inside the box. So I have a stickers, so I might put a sticker here. Let's see if I can find it here. I don't know. These say shadow shift, so I don't know if that's the sticker I'll use, but you could put a sticker on there on the bottom. It'd be something that you would want to be relatively flat, so because the point is that all this stuff is going to go in here, so I'm going to actually glue these somewhere, maybe down on this one. So the rose petals are on this side and the moss is on this side. I think that's a good idea. But the idea is that everything would go in here. And I would actually even go as far as putting probably, this is not a good piece because it's already been burned, but, and it would be nicely in here. I'm just trying to I'm kind of throwing everything in here. There would be, some sage in here, and maybe a little box of wooden matches would be neat. I had a box somewhere, but I don't know where they went. In here. So when you open up this box, everything you need to do a little meditative time with your ancestor, everything is in this box, and then you close it up and you could take it with you, or like I said, store it away when you're not, if you've got kitties or kids or whatnot, and you can't leave things out. I was just gonna say, I've got these really neat, I bought them to do bracelets, but sometimes we repurpose things. I don't know. These aura quartz, and I don't know, maybe there would be one on each corner after I get the picture on there. It's kind of hard to vision when it's not all done, but and sometimes, if you have a plan and you go into it and you get going and you're like, oh, that's not going to work, or I don't like this, or I like this better, that's okay too. So I'm going to go ahead and I said, finish this up. I didn't think I would take this long talking and doing the Mod Podge, but yeah, and like I said, you can pretty much decorate it any way that you want, any way that resonates with you, or you can stick more with, again, and if it resonates with you, but you could stick more with, my gram would not have painted this box black. That was me. My gram, probably, I don't know what color she probably would have gone red or pink or white, but not black. But I chose the black so that when her picture is in there and all the things are in there, there's my phone telling me it's time to go. So yeah, her picture is going to be up here on this. And I was actually thinking of, once everything dries, on the clothespin, hopefully it will hold it. But I was actually going to drape maybe the necklace somehow over the clothespin as well, so it was actually hanging down. Or I could use the corner of the box when it's standing up. So that's kind of hanging down there, her necklace that she wore. So I will finish this up tonight and take some pictures of it and get them posted. I'm thinking I might want to find like a little cup or bowl, something that would sit in there, just something really, really tiny, that would hold the candies. So, but that's more about the items that you would be putting in it and then decorating it. But again, you're going to want something that's going to be representative. Come back. You're going to want something that's going to be representative of your ancestor. So again, for my gram, I got her necklace, I have tea, and I have some candy, because those are things, most of us, when we had our grams, we went and she had tea and she had candy. So I've got those in there, and again, I might, even somehow make it so that the tea bag stands up somehow or something. I don't know. But then we've got our elements in there as well. So, you know, we've got fire, and like I said, we could put a little bottle of water in there, or you could use some oil, or you could leave a bottle of oil in there as well. You could just put a bottle of oil in there. So if you wanted to anoint with it when you work with it, that's a good idea. Just put a little bottle of oil in there. Let's see what I got here. I don't even know what I got here. But you could put a little bottle of oil in there, and then when you opened your box or sat down to work with your box, you could anoint. So that's a good way to pull in the oil. You could put, this one's too big, but you could put your feather in there. So when you're smudging, you have your little feather. Actually, it would just fit, but yeah, put that in there for now. So now we have our feather, our oil, our herb, and our fire. That's representative in there. Like I said, you're going to probably want a little lighter or a little book of matches. I had some boxed matches right here. Just little box matches. You could even go as far as decorating the box of the matches if you wanted. Paint it. I could take the black paint and paint it. I think I'm going to do that. Paint it black, and then, I don't know, maybe glue a crystal on there. That'll go in the box. So when you're done, everything is in your box, and you are ready to go. So I apologize again that I didn't get to finish it. I really didn't think it would take quite that long, but apparently it did. And unfortunately, I have a muggle job that I have to go to. I'd much rather stay here and hang out with you guys, but that's probably not going to pay my bills. So, all right. So I will see you guys all. Now I've got these little crystals everywhere here. I will see you guys all on Monday for our weekly forecast. And I hope you have a great weekend. And I will definitely get this finished and get some pictures of it closed and then some pictures of it open for you so you can kind of get an idea of the whole box. And again, if you make one, I would love to see pictures of yours. Please post them on the page. Yeah. Or even like if you don't want to put your picture, you know, comment below maybe who you're making the box for, the ancestor that you want to work with, that you want to connect with. So let me know what you're doing. And I will see you guys, like I said, all on Monday. Have a great weekend. I just want to finish this box. I don't want to go to work. I want to sit here and finish this box. But, yeah. So I will see you guys all on Monday. Lots of love to you. Thanks for watching. I will put the pictures in the comments of this. So if you're watching the video, you'll see the pictures in the comment section. So you won't have to go searching for another post to do that. If you're watching it on YouTube, you'll have to go over to the Facebook page to see those, because I can't just post a picture in YouTube. Sorry. All right. I know. I don't want to go to work. I'm stalling. I just want to stay here. But really, I have to go. Oh, I forgot. I got this little tape. These were at the dollar store. And what I was thinking is when I put the postcard down on the top, I might try to take this and kind of make like a little frame around it. But again, sometimes I have plans and then I look at it and I'm like, no, it doesn't need it. So, you know, but again, like you don't necessarily even have to do this all today and then be like, it's done. You could decide in a couple of days, you know, I really want to add that to it. or even the opposite. You could be like, I wasn't really sure about putting that crystal on it. I don't really like it, so I'm going to take that off and put something else there instead. Instead of the quartz points, what would be really cool if I had them, which I don't, is actually 4 rose buds on the top, to glue them on the top. That would be really pretty. I don't think I have any actual rose buds. I think all my buds are I think they're all crushed. I don't think I have anything that's, yeah. It says rose buds, but I used the rose buds and just I refilled the bag with some rose petals. So, all right. Again, sorry for not finishing up, but I will get pictures posted for you. And I really, really want to see pictures of what you guys make, so please share them. All right. Remember, as always, be kind. Your kindness is going to improve your own day. It is. Being kind is going to make you feel so much better than being grumpy and angry and impatient and whatever else we feel. But it's also going to make somebody else feel better and potentially could change someone's life. A small, small act of kindness really could potentially change someone's life. So, and it doesn't cost us anything to be kind. So, lots of love. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday. Bye, guys.